So that's the normal north and south poles. That's the poles. This is how it's been for 6,000 years. 2 months ago, it swapped to this. That was 2 months ago. We are now damn near in the flip. It's called a magnetic excursion. You all need to be worried about this. And I urge you to look it up, because you will be surprised by how much time you have.
You got 30 minutes.
Okay, folks. So, this is 4419. It has gained an insane amount of energy, as you can tell, over the last few days. Now, you have 4418, 4416, and 4415 still active. If you notice the active zones, they're not creating a giant fucking coronal hole. Now, this is the normal coronal hole in solar winds you have to deal with right here. You know, these are solar winds, all of this. But this entire thing is growing in size. As you just saw, it just got smaller. This is because it's playing on a loop. It's not a good sign. I am going to go into what you're going to see on the Earth in what I imagine is the coming days, because in my research I have found that the volcanic activity and the seismic activity is actually growing. I will give you the signs on what you're going to see next in terms of this. That is all solar winds. They are headed for Earth. That is earthward bound. That's why you're seeing it. As I told you, they did not replace the satellite that went down in 2014, so we do not have access to the backside of the sun. So some data is missing here, unfortunately. I am to believe that this is 4415 and 4418, but this is 4419. As you can see, this is a shit ton of activity. This is your newest Tesla. So much fucking energy, it can go 100 million miles. That was lame. Okay. And moving on. As you guys can see, we have had some major whiteouts. Every day of Fuck You Avenue, and we're fucked Central. It's not been great. I know I've talked to you guys about this. I don't feel like I need to do a deep dive on this. I feel like you guys do understand what the whiteouts mean. It means an uptick in energy and frequency, and a change in the vibration of the Earth. Electromagnetism, if you will. I will explain this. I will explain all of this again at the end of this video. This is the amplitude, the Q factor, and the spikes. Now, the biggest thing you want to know is, the one thing you want to know is the spikes. Those are normal. Even in times of stress, on the sun or the Earth, these are normal. What you don't want to see, which is what we're seeing now, the charge is happening. When these start to align in flat segments like this, and they align together, the white, the blue, and the green, align together, that means that something is charging, it's ramping itself up. As I've been saying from the beginning, everyone keeps thinking that this is going to happen tomorrow, next 45 minutes, or whatever it is, what have you. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that something is happening. It could take 10 years, it could take 10,000, it could take 10 days, it could take 5 weeks. I don't fucking know. I'm just letting you guys know the data is pointing to yes, and I will show you more to prove this. If you guys remember in my past videos, I showed you where about 10 years ago the Schumann resonance didn't do this, didn't jump like this, the biggest spikes. I think we're in 2014, we're nowhere near this, and we are having this on a daily basis. I don't have one for today yet. I'm not sure if it's because the internet's doing something funky, which wouldn't be surprising if we're having electromagnetic problems. But this was yesterday. You guys just saw the few days before that. This isn't normal. They try to say, well, the last solar cycle we went through, this happened. It did, but it didn't. It's much worse now. It's much, much worse. And it's more frequent, and it's more spread out, it's not so sporadic. It's not uniform. It's not happening randomly. It's on time. It's coordinated. The last one was Russia, so that was today, but it was yesterday there. Sorry, that last picture was from Russia. It was dated for today. It is tomorrow there. So that is, it's right. This is the backside of the sun, dated for yesterday, here. As you can see, this is a massive coronal mass ejection. The energy is just blatantly blowing the fuck out. They keep putting that there's nothing going on up there, that everything is basically class 1, and like we're not all fucking walking towards a Carrington event. So this is another version of that coronal hole. It's a much easier version to see in terms of the winds that are coming off of it. I've put the sun up. I just made a video not too long ago of the sun compared to from now to 10 years ago. This wasn't on there. And this is not good. This is a huge problem. And we will find out what kind of problem it's going to be in the coming days. But this could just be one of those issues where it's still charging itself up. But here's the problem, folks. Before you go saying something, saying that I don't know what I'm talking about, I have already called this. I said it would do this. Me and my wife both have stated that it is going through a cycle of some kind and it is charging itself up. We did not say when it would stop. This could be another step on the fucking train. When you think about it, if it's doing this, who's to tell you it won't do it all the fucking way around? And that could be the shell getting ready to shoot itself off. Could be the shell getting ready to shoot itself off like the sneeze that it's going to have. Now, I will get into the weather, but it won't be anything visual because I don't really have anything to give you. I have just words of wisdom. Wisdom. This space. I know. I get it. This is the activity that we have in terms of earthquakes. Now, you may not understand this yet, but my next picture will show you and make you understand. But as you can see, we have massive activity. Now, remember the numbers for the next photo I'm about to show. Because we have way more fives and up this time around than we did 10 years ago for the people saying that we go through this every 10 to 11 years. Not true. Forgive me on the presentation type stuff. I'm still learning this, trying to get it figured out. I got the data on the amount of M6 plus earthquakes between 2016 and now. And that is what I wanted to show you guys. And again, ignore all of these circles. It's more so the numbers that matter. Back in 2016, they only had 2 M6 plus earthquakes. Now, we've had 5 on this specific day. This specific day, 10 years ago, we only had 2. It's not that big of a deal in terms of how you look at it now. But if this keeps ramping up, it can be seen as a sign. When we go from 5 to 10 to 15 in a matter of weeks, and you will see that in the coming weeks if that is what the truth is. I must tell you guys, we have been looking this up for the last few years. No, nothing was out of the normal until the last like 3 months. And now it seems to be getting worse every day. It's just that people like yourselves and like us are not prepared to go searching worldwide for what's going on every single place, everywhere. This is why you guys look to the internet for it, and I do the same. The video was an accident, but I'm glad that I did it, and I'm glad you guys want it, because it's taught us that the signs are there. It is very obvious what is going on. Something is happening with the earth, and everyone is hilarious in thinking that they don't have to worry about it, or that it's not going to happen, or that they can stop it. For those of you telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about, I understand. But yet again, here is some more proof that shows you I do, and that my predictions are right. I said this was going to happen. Go back on my videos, you will see where I called that the sun is ramping up in energy, charging itself up. The plasma is shooting itself at the earth. It's getting ready for this massive sneeze. No, I did not say blowing up. I don't know who the fuck said that. That is superbly impossible for the next at least 100 million years. If it does, yes, we are all fucked. See that? CH1. You know what that means? Coronal hole. You know what coronal hole means? It means wind. Solar wind. It means bye-bye electricity. If this thing decides to grow larger. But no, for real. I can't even emphasize how bad this is. I really wish I could tell you guys how bad it is. It's pretty bad. I'm going to keep an eye on this. This scares me. My wife just kind of sprung it on me. I was figuring maybe I'm reading the data wrong. Maybe I'm fucking foolish. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Nope. We're all fucked. I'm joking. I will keep you guys updated. I will definitely be doing daily updates, especially now that this has happened, because that is damn near 1/3 of the fucking sun. And that is a lot of energy just escaping earthward bound. There are a few others, as you can see. They're not that, I mean, you do have a massive one down here, but that is not earthward bound. But then you've got these other sunspots that are kind of getting active. They're shooting out some stuff. These solar ones here, these are ones to watch as well, considering they are slightly connecting to this. As I said, I'm just your local face tattooed idiot. I'm not the brightest in the world, the sharpest fucking crayon in the toolbox, even though crayons don't belong there. Forgive me if this has made me want to look into this a little bit more. Tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about getting your own home and starting your own business. And then I believe we were going to do more on weather and what's going to happen with stuff like this. And now it's pretty clear. I need to show y'all, at least find a way to tell you guys what's going to happen. If you look at the maps that I presented, the first thing that stands out is the difference in behavior. Not just the number of earthquakes, but how they're happening. 10 years ago, activity was more localized, followed by tight aftershock clusters. It was release-based. Pressure built up, and then it released in one spot. What we're seeing is different. It's more distributed. It's less localized and more spread out. More areas are active at the same time. It feels less like a single release and more like the entire system is under tension. Now look at the sun, and this is where the theory comes in. We're now moving through a peak in the solar cycle. Coronal holes are opening. Some of them are massive, allowing high-speed solar winds to come straight into Earth. Sunspots are growing rapidly, sometimes overnight, storing enormous electromagnetic activity. Earth is protected by the magnetosphere, but it's not constant. It's always shifting. It's also always getting bigger. The weaker it is, the worse this gets. The energy moves through the ionosphere, the atmosphere, down into the ground as electrical currents. And what did I say in my last video? There's water in all of the ground on planet Earth. Here's the idea about the earthquakes involving the sun and what's going on with it. It doesn't just come out of anywhere. It's more of like a trigger. It's not that it's causing them, it's just making it easier for them to happen. It just pushes them to the brink that they're already on and causes them to shift. And when it happens like this, instead of one big break, you get a lot of small breaks. The fact that it's the electromagnetic field causing these as a trigger. And when everything's been under stress for who knows how many thousands of years, it's the one thing that could cause the break. Like I said in my last video, it was described as glue is holding the plates together, and when the electromagnetism hits that glue, it turns it to jelly and they just slide apart. Same thing with volcanoes. Magma is pressure driven, meaning if there is an electromagnetic pulse, can also cause that magma to start shifting and shooting to the top. That's the easiest way I can put it. If these things continue, you can be looking for more volcanic unrest, especially along the Ring of Fire, because that's where the worst of it is. You can look for increased gas eruptions and minor volcanic eruptions. You can also look for earthquakes near volcanic zones, almost guaranteed. Now, in terms of the atmosphere, more energy means more problems. You're going to have stronger storm systems, sudden temperature changes, unusual jet stream patterns. But the real thing to watch is the sun itself. By the way, this is an unusual jet stream pattern. Is what you want to look for in terms of weather. If we're having magnetic anomalies, this is what it should look like. Now, in terms of the sun, you're going to see rapid sunspot growth, increased solar flare frequency, coronal holes facing Earth. Who knew? Stronger geomagnetic disturbances, meaning more of the sun's going to affect us here on the little bitty sphere that goes in a circle. My last piece of advice to you, in terms of what to look for, and you're going to look for a large Earth-facing sunspot, which there's plenty of them, so kind of hard to miss that. You're going to follow it by a powerful flare, which is also going to be easy to spot if you're watching this. This is kind of what it'll look like, but this is the biggest thing. You'll see this type of behavior. It looks like it's literally directed towards Earth. It's not hard. It's energy, man. Pay attention. Now remember, we've seen this before. It's called the Carrington event. If you thought that we weren't prepared then, we're definitely not prepared now. What we're watching here is not just earthquakes, not just solar activity, but a system. The sun, the magnetic field, is interacting with the Earth. Right now, the question isn't if activity is happening, because it clearly is. The real question is whether these patterns continue on the same path or they escalate. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to keep you updated. I've got lots to think about, and so do you. I'm not saying the sun's going to blow up once again. We have been noticing a lot more and more activity. We don't really know what to think of it other than it's clearly doing what we said it would, even though we didn't expect it ourselves. This is the activity that the sun is having right now. This is the CME that it just had here recently. This is earthward bound. Not all of it. I will say that. That's the one thing that I couldn't really find for sure. So this is all of the energy that is heading toward the earth. The next thing that I'm about to show you is going to explain why it is you need to be worried about this. It is starting to slowly create a halo of energy. These are the CMEs that are going on. Most of this we are feeling, not all of it, obviously. I have been saying for, I don't know, almost 2 weeks now, that this shit was coming. We both have. And I feel like I'm being vindicated yet again. I again don't like this, and for the love of God, the sun is not going to blow up. So, this is the sun today. Now, I want you guys to watch both of them. Now, I'm going to show you a picture here shortly that is way worse than that, just to give you an idea of what you need to look for when you see it. This is the sun. This is the heat of the sun. As you can see, again, the sun and the heat of it. You've got these little corners, right? You've got the corners on every piece. And they're all the same size. But I want you to take a look. You've got this corner and all of this plasma right here. If you notice, that corner is a lot bigger than just that. There is all the same heat as the fucking sun. That is called a secondary coronal mass ejection, meaning that the first one was so big, it decided to pop out another one.